Well, I'm at the beginning of the Loyalsock Trail, and yeah, so I'm ready for a nice big climb here. And I'm going to sign in this right up here. Looks like a trail register for the start. So I'm going to sign this and then head on up this baby. Look at that. This is steep. It's going to be fun. I just got into it. So the first very little climb, it's like maybe 0.1 or 0.2 or whatever, and it just gets you up that initial shelf on the mountain. And yeah, that was steep. And so right now I'm just kind of following the road, but I know shortly here I'm getting ready to go straight up again. So I'm just using one trekking pole for right now, just in case if I have to do some, hand over fist crawling up anything. So, but yeah, right now it's just a start off to a nice day, and just a really cool trail here. So here's the round plates, or the Loyalsock Trail blazes, and then they paint like the arrows on the trees for the change of direction. So they also, here they have a double blaze plus the arrow. So look at this. This is going to be fun. So I think this is where it's going to start to go straight up the mountain. This is eye level, and that's the blaze. Over here I was coming up and I almost went off trail because this is so steep right here. The blazes are like so far up high I wasn't even looking. This is straight up. Look at that. This is crazy. Look at the rocks up there. Holy crap. Well, I'll take you as far as up I can get with holding this. It's probably not a good idea though. This is crazy. I'm gonna stop this. Still climbing. So I hit that that first little one up the first shelf, and then that second one, you're straight up, hand over fist, grabbing onto roots. It's awesome. And then it levels out again just for enough to catch your breath, and now I'm straight back up again. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. Well, this is the test. I guess if you can do this part, you can do the whole thing. Just coming on up. These are the parts that nobody ever films. So the camera's, it's real shaky on my stick, but I'm trying to keep it nice. But I don't know how much longer. I should be getting to the top soon, or close to it. It's real quiet, nice breeze. It's not hot. I'm sweating a little bit, but that was a rough climb. I gotta say, that'll my calves were burning something fierce, and you're literally grabbing on the roots to pull yourself up. Man, that was rough. But I think everything's downhill from here. So I'm hoping to do, I started at 9:30. I don't know what time it is right now. It's probably 10:30 range. You know, I want to get at least 10 miles in, maybe 12. You know, once I get closer to lunchtime, I'll, you know, check out the maps, you know, the guidebook, and see where I'm at, and, you know, just start to make all my harder decisions, my more potential decisions later on in the day. So right now I'm just cruising along, and I think after a couple miles here there's going to be another logbook, and I'll sign into that. So I'm going to sign all of them, you know, and then after that, I know there at one of the mile marks there was like there's a lot of little things along the way that helps you see in the map where you're at. There was like a toolbox for the workers. It's like a bear box that they have their tools in. So, you know, once I get to these little waypoints, I'll be able to know better, you know, where I'm at on the map and that kind of stuff. And then after that, so probably around lunch or after lunch, I'll be hitting, it's called Helen's Window. And there's, you know, I think a viewpoint there, obviously. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm going to actually take once I get to a little clearing here, I'm going to drop my pack, take a short break, and I'm going to pull out my other trekking pole. My pack's heavy. It's, in a nutshell, 4 days of food. And yeah, that was the sucky part about that climb. I was halfway up that climb and I'm sitting there thinking like, man, because there's a couple parking points, like access points. I started thinking, because I know that like after the first 4 or 5 miles, I think there's like an access trail. And I was like, man, I should have had that shuttle driver. Like, we could have stopped at that other 5 miles in, and then I could have dropped like my food bag there and then just slack packed the first 5 miles. But that would be cheating. This is a 60-mile trail. So, but anyway, I'm going to take a break here, get something to eat, pull out my trekking pole, since now we're on some more flat land and I'm fighting through a couple spider webs here. So. Just coming along here on the trail. There's a little campsite over here. No water here, but got a little fire ring. Got a flat spot here for a tent. Could do a hammock or 2 or 3 up here. This little section here is pretty overgrown, actually, to where it's running alongside of this ridge, and there's a lot of overgrowth, to where they probably should do a trim job, you know, pretty soon. So, but so far I'm liking it. Oh, look at this. Holy crap. Look at that. Yes. Great view in the first 3 miles. Wow. Look at that. Look at the sky and the clouds. That's awesome. Ah, there's a little rock down here. Look at this. Hopefully there's not a snake on the rock down here. Oh. Look at that. Nice little farm right down there. You can see the silos. I just got down here into Pete's Hollow, and there's this cool kind of barn building and then a big lean-to for equipment storage. I don't know whose this is, but the trails goes that way, but there's a little picnic table here, so this is where I'm going to take my break. I'm about 4.82 miles in. This building says, that sign says built 1765, but it says B-I-L-T, so that was either their last name or they just didn't know how to spell back then, which is probably the case actually, is that they probably just didn't know. You know, it's not like proper English back in the 1700s was a big thing, you know, let alone handwriting and stuff like that. So but yeah, so this is a cool little spot. So yeah, I'm gonna have some lunch and then keep on trucking. Well, I did my lunch break, laid there at the picnic table and propped my legs up, and there's a little frog there hanging out with me. His name's Kramer. And so anyway, now I'm back on the trail, crossing over this bridge. And just heading back up. So looks like by the maps the next points of interest are Helen's Window and Smith's Knob. So we'll be up there in an hour or so and see what that's looking like. Up on top of this next ridge, just going through a nice pine forest again, kind of in and out of some of these PA rocks. Had a really nice view back there. I think that was the Loyalsock Creek down there. So yeah, just trucking along. It's a pretty rough day. It is some technical terrain. That descent coming down into that Pete's Hollow back there, that was pretty rough, because it was rock hopping the whole way down, and there was also, you know, a little bit of a creek coming down, so there's a lot of moss on those rocks. A lot of these rocks, there's a lot of moss on this trail, especially on the rocks and the big boulders, and that's, I would imagine, probably because, you know, it's just not traveled as much. There's not enough feet going up over top of the moss on the rocks to, you know, keep it wiped away. But that descent back there was slippery, and it took a little time getting down. So there was a blue blaze back there. It's kind of part of this trail, just a little loop, blue blaze, and that was right where that view was. Supposed to just take you around a little bit, meet up back at the trail. This ridge has been looking pretty nice, so I decided to stay on the trail. Otherwise, I probably would have done that, because I think what the blue blaze does is takes you around to a nicer view of the creek. But I'd still like to try to get 10 miles in today. I'm probably around 6 right now. And if I can hit 12, that'd be great. But so being that the ridge was pretty nice, I just wanted to kind of keep going the way I was going and not get distracted. So, but yeah, this is a nice trail. I really liking it so far. You know, it has its hard spots, but then when you get into this right here, it just kind of makes up for it. So this is Smith's Knob. Oh, look at that. That last view, I think that was Helen's window. Look at that. Oh yeah. There's the creek. There's a little house. There's a little red house right there. That's awesome. It's about 3:15, and I'm approaching mile marker number 8, somewhere in that range, if I'm not already there. Every mile, every other mile, they actually have mile marker blazes, which is cool. So anyway, I took a break back there. It's just been in and out of like some weird terrain. Right now, I'm just on this road, like an old service logging road or something. So I'm able to kind of zip through this and hopefully make up for a little bit of time. I was just reading the book when I was taking a break. I'm getting low on water, so within the next mile or two, I should have some water source. It mentioned in the book around campsite at 10 miles, a possible campsite. I think that's where there's a water source. And then like 11 and a half, And then also mile marker 13.8, somewhere in that range. So from here, I'm just going to see how it goes. I'll see how it is once I get to 10 miles. You know, I'm just gonna gauge everything based on the difficulty level of the trail, you know, and just kind of play it by ear, and plus the time, you know, gets darker, you know, a little bit earlier. It's not the middle of summer anymore, so you know, this is the time of year when you start, you know, you really start looking and planning around 5 o'clock so that you can hopefully be plopped down somewhere by 6 or something like that. So yeah, I mean, it's you know, still really nice day. 3 really good views on the first day, and they were nice views, I think. So other than that, you definitely have to be prepared. You know, I hiked 2 weeks ago, you know, did the little section hike, and then a couple weeks before that I did northern PA. So I feel within the realm of, you know, I didn't do anything the week before I came here, but I was pretty well prepared, and it didn't take me long to start feeling all the pains again, you know. But yeah, that first couple miles is pretty rough. You got that first climb, and then once you finish that first, like, you know, 4 or 5 miles of the section 1, then you come into section 2 and you come up that climb. You know, that wasn't easy. And that was kind of like one of them false summit ones. You know, I came up the mountain and it leveled off, and I was like, oh man, I'm on the ridge, but I knew I had more to go. And then it hit you again, and yeah, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna throw the afterburners on here and get moving. It's close to 5:30, and I'm around mile 12 or just past it. So right about 5 o'clock I got to mile number, it was 11.33, and there was actually a really sweet campsite area there. There was a brook coming down through, and definitely some nice camping spots. But I know there's this other one at like 13.8. So I kind of stopped and dropped my pack for a minute, and I looked at the maps, read the book, took a drink, and I thought, well, let me just go, because I'm still feeling good. I don't feel like trashed yet. I'm tired, and probably if I would have stood around there another 10 minutes, I probably would have been like, I ain't putting that pack back on. But I just kind of thought, well, let me head up the trail like 0.1, no more than like 0.2, and let me see, you know, let me just scope it out. So I started coming up the trail, and I could see, probably from last weekend, because judging by the logbooks, there was a ton of people here for Labor Day weekend. I could see a bunch of fresh, like, mountain bike tracks in the trail. So then I knew, I just kept going because I knew if you see something like that, then you pretty much know that it's going to be a pretty decent trail. So, so I just figured, yeah, I'm walking through some more bike tracks and stuff right here. But so anyway, you know, I'm gonna get up to this okay, we got an intersection here. That's pretty cool. There's a bunch of trails in this park. It's really cool. This place is awesome. I mean, it really is. So anyway, I'm heading up to this 13.83. It says water source, possible campsites. So that's about where I'm looking to, somewhere in that area. And I'm hoping that it doesn't have to be an awesome campsite, but I'm just hoping that there's some kind of flowing water. I'm doing a gradual ascent, and it's supposed to come up to 2,000 feet. And then I'm going to be dropping back down, crossing a road, and then I'll be in this close to this other campsite area. So I'm imagining, and judging by when I looked at the actual map, I could see the drawing of the stream coming through there. So I feel like I'll be in good shape. So the trail's still going nice. Making some good time. This is up here at this 13-14 mile range is where I wanted to be about 2 hours ago. But I'm telling you, that first part of the trail, see, when I first got up on top of that first ridge, you know, usually when you get up on a ridge, you can just start hustling. And it was a nice ridge, but I couldn't. I was going, but I was more in recovery mode than go mode. And the same thing after that second climb. So, and I was just really also just enjoying the views and the forest. I mean, it's so cool. Like it's like every time you turn, there's a different look of the trail. You know, one ridge you're coming through, and there's laurel. The next one, there was just whole bunch of white flowers. It's just been really cool. So, but yeah, so probably about another hour, and I'll be hanging some hammock straps and making some food. Now I got camp set up. I'm right in that 13.83 area. So got this guy set up. There is little, so that's my view. Got a little bit of a stream coming through here, and so right now I'm got the Mountain House beef stroganoff cooking, and then way up there is where I'll put my bear bag. So I have my line hung up, and then obviously since I'm close to water, you know, I'll be hiking up there to, you know, go to the bathroom, whatnot. So but yeah, this is a pretty nice place. It was a really easy hike to get to here, so I'm kind of glad that I did the little extra. Yeah, it's about 7:45. I'm laying here in my hammock. I got this, I got the hang time hook. So I got this cool little phone bracket hanging from my ridge line. But yeah, it's 7:45. It's been a pretty long day. I ate, got my food hung, got all my chores done. And also, from my gear video, I had said that I was only going to bring what I was wearing. And actually, I did bring, this morning in my camper when I woke up, I was like, man, it's cold. So I had some extra clothing that I wasn't sure if I was going to pack. I packed extra synthetic t-shirt and then a pair of like kind of like those performance leggings, like the long, basically the spandex pants. So that's actually what I'm wearing right now because my Columbia shirt was soaked, and when I first got here I kind of strung it up into some tree branches to dry out, and it's still wet, so I got hanging up there. So I'm actually glad I brought some extra, and I have my my raincoat ready to put on, you know, maybe in the middle of the night if it really drops down, and if it gets pretty chilly. So, but you know, all in all, everything will be good. You know, I'm gonna sleep like a baby. So, so yeah, I did 13.8 today. It was a long day. The first half was pretty tough, and it just kind of drug on a little bit because I took some extra breaks because of the tough trail. And then it, you know, got a little easier after that, so that was good. So yeah, you know, I'm happy with where I'm at. Uh, it right up top of the hill here. I'm about a half mile away from like a little service road on the way I came, and there was another trail register, so I signed that. I've been signing them all. I signed 3 so far. And you know, the rangers check it every day, and maybe tomorrow I'll show what the trail register looks like. You know, you put the date, the time. It's all like a little spreadsheet, you know, and you have your own little column. You put your name, your town, where you're from, and then you put if you're doing the entire trail and which direction you're going. And then there's a little spot, you know, for like a note. So, so yeah, it's you know, it's actually pretty nice here. So far as like just kind of like the idea that the rangers and the Loyalsock, you know, state forest people, that they kind of, you know, look after, you know, the hikers and the people that come here to, you know, camp and that kind of stuff. So, you know, I think that's pretty cool because it's not like that everywhere. And the shuttle driver did tell me that they actually do like, you know, they'll go out if they hear something's wrong or think something's wrong. They'll go out and start looking. They'll send them all out to look at all the registers, to see if there's any notes left, and you know, then from there they start, you know, hiking the trail and looking for whoever. So, but yeah, so this is a real nice site. Yeah, I'm real comfortable right now, so it's not too cold right now, and I hope it kind of stays this way. I don't know what the temperature is. I don't have like I should probably start carrying like a little thermometer type of thing. And I have no phone service at all. I mean, there's the only spot so far that I've had service was at that very first view. So that was at about mile 2.5, something like that. So I had some service up there. So far, the rest of it, I've had nothing. There was 1 or 2 spots where I should have checked, but I didn't. Yeah, so no service. But the shuttle driver said that as you get further east, that you should start getting a little, it'll get a little better. So, who knows? We'll see. But so, yep, just laying here by this little stream. I can hear the water flowing, and yeah, it's real nice here. So, looking forward to a good night's sleep. So, it was a pretty good first day. So, tomorrow is going to be another one. So, good night.